joethefinancesguy.com.
Joe, what did you do?
It did it to me again. So sorry, Ira. Sorry, Cory.
I figured you were asleep at the wheel, but
no, I was not. It just, yeah, go figure. You gotta love. I had one of my other things up, so
you know what it is.
What?
Batman rules, Superman rules.
Yeah, I'm sure that was really it. So, yep, I felt really good about that one. So,
hey, we got Kenneth. We got Kenneth in the comments. Good afternoon, Kenneth. I love that guy because savor the flavor. His comments are the best.
Yep. Let's see here. So, go in the comments. Well, first off, everybody, how you doing? Welcome to Cup of Joe. Ira Bowman. Oh, I'm doing that wrong. Ira Bowman. Cory is right next. And then
Cory Warfield's in the house.
Cory Warfield's in the house. So, welcome, Cory. I appreciate it. Sorry about the. I shouldn't be drinking.
Joe is still learning how to drive the bus. He'll get better.
Yeah, I will. I promise you, I'll get better.
You know what it is? You know, it's like he's the guy that went to Vegas and won the jackpot the first time he gambled, and he thought, "Oh, this is easy," and he got overconfident.
Yes, that is exactly what happened, and I'm gonna have to get an actual Mac computer instead of using my laptop. I think that'll do it. What do you think? That's probably a question for Brian, the Mac man. So.
Yeah, don't ask me because I don't use it. The only thing I use that's Mac is my Apple iPhone because I do like the iPhones, but I graduated to real computers a long time ago. Oh, we kid because we care, Brian. We love you, brother.
Yes, that is why. That is why. All right, so Cory, tell us a little bit about yourself. You're on the show. I mean, I know we talk about usually nothing and whatever comes up from the week and everything. So nothing really exciting except well, we'll talk about that later.
Joe,
but
could you adjust our view? Because I feel like Cory and I and you are like all touching faces. That's so much better.
Is that good?
Oh, it's so much better.
All right, good. So I adjusted the
Don't
view.
you feel like, Cory, don't you feel like you've just like been taken out of the box?
I'm always in a box.
Well, Cory, come on, tell us what's been new for you, Cory Connects and Shedwool.
Yeah, well, you know, it's one of those things where I've been working so hard on so many things for years that when I tell you it's all kind of unfolding, it's going to sound really silly until you realize that it's all been kind of years in the making. But Shedwool is going really great. We've got a couple of the accounts we've been after for years and a couple more that we've been chasing. Basically our golden gooses are white whales, right? We've got at least half of them in pilots right now, and we're starting to partner with some other restaurant technology platforms to truly deliver an all-in-one restaurant profitability play at no cost to low cost for restaurants. And what we're doing there does everything from literally purifying the air, killing 100% of COVID, down to making the pickup and delivery 100% profit for the restaurants and helping them hire and retain staff. And we're doing a lot of fun stuff for restaurants. But then I've got information that I think you know a little bit about. We're doing the data privacy blockchain with the crypto component, and because that is so important to me, and because I love it so much, and because we have a crypto component for Cory Connects that I'll talk about, I've started really researching crypto. So I'm into like 15, 20 altcoins. I never thought I never even wanted to know what an altcoin was, right? Like I've been running the other way from Bitcoin ever since I heard about it, and suddenly I'm all in. And so I'm helping launch a cryptocurrency. We've got another one that's got my name and face on it, which is humbling and hilarious and awesome, kind of all at the same time. At Cory Connects, we're gamifying recruiting and LinkedIn growth. So we're launching our first virtual job fair in a couple of weeks. It's going to be fairly limited, but we're going to have people in that game representing both the job seekers, the recruiters, and the social media influencers. And that'll be the first kind of public-facing event that is the Cory Connects gamifying recruiting. So with all that said, I'm also the managing director with a partner of mine here in Chicago in the Midwest for Founder Institute, helping launch like 100 more companies. So we've got national rollouts. We've got, just so many different things going on. And yet I'm trying to spend more time with my friends like you guys and with my family that'll be here any minute. And so I'm juggling a few balls, but I guess I've gotten pretty good at juggling.
That is awesome.
That's
The cryptocurrency. And I got to pick your brain on that one. So talk to me. How did you get into it and what did you do? Like, I'm assuming like your face on it. Is that sort of what the picture you sent me? I mean, that would make sense. A little bit of that picture that you sent me earlier in the week.
Yeah, well, it's got the CC on there for Cory Connects. It also stands for Cory Coin cryptocurrency, but that'll become the currency of the marketplace within the Cory Connects game. But it's part of a larger organization that I was so emphatic with that I joined forces. I invested in them. I've joined an executive role now with Information, and is a guy I've admired for years. And he spent a few years building this incredibly brilliant blockchain using smart contracts to keep people's information completely private. So your data, my data, anywhere on the internet, you can be the sole custodian and keep it away from anybody, and kind of dictate if and when you want it shared. And if it makes money, then you'll make some of that money. And that's going live right now. So the company's Information, spelled a little funny, where INF, the number 4, and then Mation.com. We've got a great white paper explainer video on the website. You'll see my smiling face on there. I think it's a couple of years old, but now that I'm literally in my mid 40s, I'm starting to just own the fact that I'm looking older. So, it's just one of those things, I guess. But yeah, it's been interesting. And so in order to learn kind of about the actual technologies, and like I wanted to know why mining was bad for the environment, what a utility-backed token was, how it truly is transparent, and all of these things. So I just started investing little amounts into a lot of the coins on the market, and then some of them have excited me, and I put more, I put quote unquote some real money into a few of them. But just watching those trends and learning, all of a sudden I'm, I guess I'd say I'm drinking the Kool-Aid.
Well, that's good because you and I are you're gonna have to answer the phone when I call you next week.
I'll answer the phone for you any day of the week.
Well, I appreciate that, but
let me straight to voicemail.
No,
But that is something that, and I'm with you. For the longest time, I was not into it. I really wasn't because, I mean, what did he?
I think I think a lot of people are afraid of it, Cory. I mean, this is fascinating because there's a person that Matt Crump, he introduced me to on, actually it wasn't LinkedIn, it was a Clubhouse. He's a doctor at Duke. His name's Atif, and I can't remember his last name. I apologize, Dr. Atif, that I don't know your last name off the top of my head here, but he was explaining, because I make graphics, and he's like, Ira, you creating illustrations digitally, you could take those and start and making money, these NFTs. And I'm like, I don't know anything about it, but I started to read, and I'm still a neophyte. Like, I don't understand very much about it, but that's where just recently it started to click to me, where it isn't someone trying to scam me, because I think that's what a lot of people have, this perception that it is like not legit. And I think that it is legit. There was just maybe people out there trying to take advantage of folks in the beginning, or the people were coming off as spam. You know what I mean? So it is interesting to hear somebody that I respect. A lot of people look up to Cory, I mean, we know that. So right. It's interesting that you probably have the highest profile of anybody I know that's talked about crypto. So you probably are going to get overwhelmed. That might be a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know, but I'm definitely interested to learn more about it because.
Well, so let me explain. I think there's a lot of reasons to be apprehensive, and it is not regulated in a lot of capacities, which can be scary. There aren't legislation around like trying to short the market or insider trading. So all these things that are regulated against in real finance, once you get into DeFi, right? It's kind of out the window, and so they are all risky inherently. But what I like about them is the technology, blockchain. It's immutable. There are two records every single place that don't talk to each other and that cannot be hacked. If something's changed, it's known, right? There are records of that. So you can't mine more of something or counterfeit something and not have that in a ledger. And so a friend of mine that I've come to really like and respect started a company that I'm here in Chicago, at least as a household name, and $1 billion fintech, and he's actually himself an American billionaire. And he and I were talking, and I was telling him about Cory Connects, and he loved it, and kind of how I figured out a little bit of the algorithm on LinkedIn and what that's done for my life. And so he said, and I saw something, talk to me about, right, Cory Connects, like looks like you're doing something with information, and so yeah, this company Infor, and so I told him about the crypto thing, and it was literally like he saw a ghost. He's like, don't want to talk about it, don't trust it, like. In his words, and this is some months ago, in his words, he didn't think that it was transparent. And in my mind, I'm thinking, well, wait, the tech makes it the only thing that's transparent in my mind, but I couldn't really speak intellectually or even really intelligibly about it. And so that's when I started to research. What is blockchain? What are the different blockchains? Why do I think Bitcoin's going down and Ethereum and some of these are not going to be sustainable? And why am I kind of loving Cardano and Polkadot and Chainlink and right, like all of these different coins? And I don't know. I've talked to some people much smarter than myself recently that say like, they're like, well, yeah, Cory, this is just like anybody getting into stocks, right? When they're 18, they're like, you get it, and you see the potential, and I'm lucky so far. I made some money in it. But I think again, there is reason to be scared, and the more I learn, the more excited I am. But I understand that it's risky, and it probably is the Wild West. But I think there'll be global cryptocurrencies with $1 trillion market caps.
Right.
No, I agree with a lot of what you just said, and I think that it is an emerging thing. I like the analogy to the Wild West because it's unsettled. But I mean, a lot of people made a lot of money back in the gold rush, so that's appealing. That actually is appealing to me too, Cory. So. I think kudos to you for getting out there still ahead of the curve. And I'm going to enter the fray myself. I might lose some money, and I'm okay with that. It's like when I go to Vegas, my strategy in Vegas is simple. Any money that I quote unquote gamble, it's not gambling. It's been budgeted. I have an allowance that I've set to have fun, entertainment. And if I walk away with more than I started with, which happens sometimes, then that's just a bonus. So I think that's what I'm planning to do with the crypto stuff for now. And it sounds like something that you did too. So maybe it's an investment strategy for people to kind of to get their feet wet. It's just like it's a learning process. You found some of the currencies. I don't even know if I'm saying it right, but you found some of the vehicles that you liked, and you said you put some real money in it after you got your feet wet. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to enter the fray, learn a little bit as I go, and figure this thing out some more. And then as that happens, I'm sure with time stuff will start to settle down, and maybe some regulations will, how they're going to police it, because that's part of the advantage of this, right? It's not tied to one government. It's a global thing. So, I mean, that might be part of the challenge with regulations, how you regulate something that's not tied to a government. But
I was going to say, Ira, your strategy on Las Vegas, totally different from mine. I usually take my monthly bill allotment, and then I go there with that to win. I'm doing it all wrong then. Okay.
Maybe. And if you don't risk a lot, you probably can't win a lot. So there's the risk reward factor. But I've never left Vegas and have to explain to my wife, like, hey, I can't pay the mortgage this month because
Thank God that has not happened to me. So
yeah.
Now, Joe, when your nickname is the finance guy, you don't even get to joke like that.
Oh, I can't.
No, but honestly,
starts off that I'm a recovering stand-up comedian. So
yeah, and Joe, we need to say it because we haven't said it yet. So all the express views of this show are from Ira Bowman, Joe Stepke, and Cory Warfield, not explicitly not from Rena Center and
or Rena Center. Yes,
yeah.
They're
So
all from Joe the finance guy, Ira, Cory. Nothing to do with Rena Center or SEMA Credit for who I work for. Thank you very much, Ira. I have to put that disclaimer on my show.
we got the blurb. I just need to
send it to me. All right. Sorry, Cory. So you're right. I should not joke like that, but God, I can't resist the joke. It was just
it's a lot of fun. But I tell people, they don't build those buildings to give away money, but it is fun. But crypto, I mean, there's so much to it. There's a lot to learn, but it's fun. And I mean, who would, like, even Cory, just think back like 2018, 19. Would you have ever thought like, hey, my face is going to be on money? Like, that's kind of cool.
Frankly, I wanted that for like 40 years. It's just so weird. And it wasn't even my idea, right? It was brought to my idea. And then, right, it was kind of like, can you make me look a little bit more like Abe Lincoln? But right, like, but no, it's really bizarre. But when it comes to like putting in money, yeah, it's a risk and a gamble. But what I tell people is find something that you think is a little bit early that you get excited about, either the technology or the mission, right? Or sometimes it's just the community. Put a couple $100 if that's comfortable, or frankly, put $20, right? But on something, and if you catch it on the down, and sometimes you've got to be a little bit patient. You're watching these things, right? But if you catch it on the down, and you can, right? A lot of these double your money in a day, right, or in a week, or if you watch it, take what you put out, or put in, out. Put $100 in, take your $100 out. Let that $30, $50, $100 ride. Now it is truly free money, and if it ever goes back to zero. Right, and just like in Vegas, you win 100, you fold it in your pocket, you put it in your back, and you say you doubled it, right?
Smart.
I want to make sure, and I started it a little bit later, a lot later, but if I'm right on how this works, you have to set up a digital wallet and also another mechanism to put to actually convert it to actual cash. Or one of my friends told me they're also coming out with a way where it'll be like a Visa card that you could pay with it as well when it gets dumped in there. Am I right on that? Or
I think it is heading that way. I mean, I don't know that for sure. Maybe Cory, you know more, but I think that's the whole point. Even maybe like the Apple Wallet, where like you take your phone and you tap it, and
Apple's talking about it, and the reality is you don't need a digital wallet now if you want to actually have the digital asset in your possession. You can get a digital wallet, but most of my holdings, I've got them spanned out over a few different marketplaces where if I give them $100, they give me the equivalent of $100 in whatever coin I just bought, and it really is, they're holding on to it for me. But if it goes up 10,000 times in value, I can pull that money out, and most of them are liquid. Most of the coins I'm into, I think, have over $1 billion cash on hand.
So and then where does the money go, Cory? So you want to pull it out afterwards. Is it already set up to like a checking account of some sort, or that's where I was talking about the other? Because
it'll go right there. If I wanted to pull $1,000 out of my Doge account, put it in my bank right now, it would just go into my checking account.
Gotcha. Okay, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
All right. Good stuff. Good to know. All right, so Ira, keep going. I didn't mean to interrupt, but
no, I mean I think this is a fascinating topic. I want to just ask the audience: is anybody out there in crypto yet? Do you have questions about crypto? I mean, this show is about anything. I love what Paul said. There's more to Vegas than just gambling, and I say, go Raiders, baby! I was just there. I took a picture. I'm such a dork. I stood outside the fence of their stadium and took pictures of their stadium, and I long to be inside. But anyways, one day I'll actually get to go. They're hiring, by the way. They're hiring for a few different things. So they got social media stuff. They got events. So if you live in or around Las Vegas and you want to work for the Raiders, go check out their LinkedIn page. They are hiring right now. It's exciting.
Good stuff.
Anyways.
All right, Cory. Okay, so that's the crypto. What else are you up to and helping people with? Considering, in fact, I already know.
That's like an open-ended question.
It is. So that's how come I wanted to.
No direction at all. You know, like
I want him. I want him to just pick whatever he wants.
All right. Player's choice.
I'm trying to get more active on LinkedIn again because I've gotten lazy and complacency is no good and all that. But I'm helping a number of people both privately and in group scenarios grow on LinkedIn, and that's fun. And it just keeps opening up doors for me. So I'm helping a friend of mine with a product that was just launched called Influencer Active, and Anthony J. James is their CEO, and they're helping people. Maybe like some of those of us on this call right now. Get paid to represent brands that we care to represent online, and they're really bridging the gap between like the mid-sized markets and those of us that spend a lot of time on social who have communities that know, like, and trust us, or hopefully know, love, and trust us, right? The more that we put ourselves out there like this and get to know them. But so Influencer Active, I think, is really exciting, and I'm putting some time and I'm putting my name behind that. And then a mutual friend of ours named Strati up in Toronto, Strati Georgopoulos, is quite literally with his partner Stephen Clark. And if you guys don't know Strati and Stephen, they're amazing guys that are literally ending world hunger right now. And they've figured it out. They've cracked the code. It's algorithmic. So I'm involved in that project. And so we just yesterday morning, we were talking for quite some time, the three of us, just like, how do we get this into 100 million heads, right? How do we truly make sure that everybody in every corner of the world, and right, no judgment, because we're not supposed to judge, and right, it's just if people are hungry, let's get them food, because we're throwing out more food every day, right? And they've got some different components to this, but one of them is a for-profit food company that can manufacture great organic healthy meals for very cheap. And so, right, I'm involved with everything I can find that I love like that. And then my big, hairy, audacious goal, and I'm talking to engineers at some of the people that have been places, that I want to go, but I'm working on really trying to get a technology that makes space travel much quicker and easier. And that same technology, I think, can get us to the bottom of the ocean and the bottom of the Arctic poles. So that's kind of where I'm trying to build my legacy too. But every time I hear about something like what Strati and Steven are doing, I can't help but get involved. Especially now that I do have, this audience where I've got hundreds of thousands of people that care to listen to what I have to say around the world. And, so it's time to try to effectuate change as to whatever degree I can.
Absolutely. And go back, Influencer Active. I know the three of us are on there. I have yet to go ask somebody to do that. I actually think it's interesting because I look at everybody that's on there and going, man, I wonder if he could help Joe the finance guy. I'm looking at different ways for me versus I'm looking at it as a customer aspect versus the other side of it. But I think it's amazing how many people are out there, because if using you as an example, over 250,000 follow. Am I right, or do we eclipse 300? I didn't even look beforehand.
No, yeah, I'm still in that gray area.
Okay, so I know it's 250,000 or more. But anyways, and looking at, so when somebody hires you to go, hey, let's take the one that you did, the dress shirt one. Is that bad to talk about, or
not at all?
I thought that was amazing, because how I dress during the week for work, I'm going, man, I should have this anyways. I thought it was amazing that I if I'm right on it, they just put the shirt in like a garment bag. Am I right on that? And
the shirt sauna, yeah, the thing pops up and the steam cleans your shirt right away and leaves it looking starched and pressed, and it's brilliant. And I think they sold a lot of units of that after I did their post. And so yeah, all those, right. And then a shirt company came to me and said, hey, can you represent our shirt? I thought the shirt was fantastic. Then a hanger company came to me and said, hey, we'd love to pay you to do some content around our hangers. And then a couple of them came back and said, we'd like to pay you again, and we'll pay you more this time. So it really is turning into this cool thing. But Joe, to your point, I'm looking at some of those people, like, how can they help some of my brands? And frankly, the people I want right now, and it's all my friends on there, and it's not, right, but everyone on there supports me anyway. I'm really humbled, and I try to support them all also, and I've known most of them for a long time. But the people that I want, and where I think, the Influencer Active is going, are on Cameo, right? like my favorite actor in the world, Adrian Grenier, he's on Cameo. I need to pay him $1,000 and he'll say, hey, Cory, I love what you're doing at Cory Connects. Like, I want that. Or he grows a lot of his own food and wants to fix hunger. If I can pay him $1,000 and get him to say, hey, I love what you guys are doing, to end world hunger, then maybe it gets him on our website, and maybe he comes back and says, wait a minute, you guys are really doing it. Maybe I can get involved. So, but I think bridging the gap between, quote unquote, we little guys and then, the bigger names, and right, there definitely are people on Influencer Active with millions of followers. And so that is the type of person that some of these mid-sized companies are looking to leverage, and frankly, some of the bigger brands as well. Hey, Nick.
And I'm with you on the Cameo part. I mean, for me, I want Kevin Conroy, the voice of Batman, the animated series, to do.
He wants him in the worst way. He has a man crush on this guy.
I just want him to say, just like how Tasia Valencia said.
FinanceGuy.com.
Yeah, I hope Cory, you still there?
He's there.
Yeah, he's there. Okay. But just like Tasia Valencia said, Joe the Finance Guy and Poison Ivy, that's why I want the whole that's why I want that side of it. So all right, here he comes back on.
I'm trying. Yeah, here we are.
All right, good. All right, awesome.
Yeah, so for those who have missed it, Influencer Active, the idea is if you run a company and you want to increase your visibility on social media, it's a way that you can hire somebody like Cory or me or Joe to represent your product. Of course, we have a say if we will do it or not. I've actually turned down quite a few because they want me to represent their brand, and it's like it doesn't fit me and I don't know it. So I'm probably a little bit more selective than a lot of people, but it's cool. But everybody's got their own comfort level with that. But it is cool. And I like your thought, Joe, because you and I have talked about this off air. And it's like you could get somebody like Cory or any of them, like Talout or anybody that's on there that's got a large following, and get them to make a post about you. That's pretty cool. It's like a shot of adrenaline. That's what I try to explain to people. It's like, you're not going to build a network like Cory or I have built overnight. It took even us. It's taken us time. We're still doing it.
Right. And I thought that and I believe Influencer Active they do that as well to help people boost it, to get other people to follow. I mean, Cory, and then let's go into the next part. You helped me a lot as well. As much as Ira has helped me, I was one of your clients. And you helped me a lot. And I really appreciate the friendship too, because after working with you for 3 months, I mean, really, I know we got to know each other. That's how come I think it's you, me, and Brian that communicate all the time, like the three of us, really good. So I do appreciate that. It's those little things, because after you taught me Ira, wasn't it like overnight? It's like some of the little things you taught me, but then it was almost like, what the hell happened? With the post.
You took off like wildfire, and I'd love to see it. I mean, you routinely get 1,000 likes and break 20,000 views on your stuff, and then the best part of that is when I hear that people are reaching out to you to do deals, right, and to do business with you, and starting to really, I love coming up with that tagline. And you've got somebody that's nipping at your heels. I've got a guy who's been a friend of mine for years, but he's a brand new client, and you've probably seen him start to get active, but it's his first week and he's had 2 posts break 800 likes. I'm like, this is so silly, right? Because it really is that formulaic. He gets it like you got it. He's like, oh, if I do this and this, then it'll work. I'm like, yeah, so make sure you optimize your profile when you get your 10,000 profile views, right? Like, make sure they know what you do, how they can do business with you. Like, don't make them guess what this and that means. And yeah, so yeah, it's similarly. But Joe, you've been so much fun to watch grow, and I am honored that I was able to be with you for some of those steps, because you've always been active. You've always had people that know and love you, but to see your numbers get to where they are is it makes me proud, even, to be candid.
And I, quite frankly, within the past month, now, yes, there have been things, not to go back to last week's show and stuff, but the crap that I go through, there have been things that I, health-wise, I had to take care of. But it is nice that you could go back into things and you could start talking to people and just go right back into it, and people are right there. And the one thing I will stress, probably more than anything, it is the engagement. You are totally right, Cory. It's if you are consistently engaging with people and talking to them, that means the most. Because my daughter, I'm just a quick, we all know she graduated yesterday. And that was an awesome thing. You know, the drive-through. I would rather do the drive-through graduation than sit in the bleachers or somewhere for 3 hours waiting for them. What we did yesterday, and do it again. I got 2 more kids. Please do it again. That was fun. You know, I'll wait for the big one for college, but man, this was just, it was awesome. The teachers all cheering and stuff. But anyways, we got back and I told her, I go, listen, I got a lot of views and comments on this post. You know, it would be nice if you could, you know, be on LinkedIn. And I wanted to help her do the profile. But she did it herself. Her and her boyfriend were upstairs and they just hurried up and did the profile. She saw the thing today and she goes, Dad, I have to comment to every one of these. I go, yeah, you got to comment to every single one. So, and I don't know how far she did, but she started her profile yesterday, so which was great. But anyways, sorry, but engagement, I couldn't even stress that enough. I think engagement is probably the most important thing on there.
Well, I think that and just being specific, right? Everybody, it's hard to trust somebody if you don't know what they do.
Right. Your thoughts, Ira?
I agree. I've been preaching that for.
I know.
So in 2018, when I changed my strategy, that was the number one thing that I did. I raised my visibility by engaging in comments with people. It wasn't that all of a sudden I was making posts that were interesting. I didn't know how to post yet. I learned over time how to make posts, but I have a graphic that I created, and I've made several iterations of it, but I post it on just about every post that I make. I put it in the comments. It's like, look, if you want to grow, make comments. Keep it professional, keep it polite, but make comments. You're raising your visibility. So the number one thing people do wrong is they read LinkedIn or any social media platform like it's a newspaper or a magazine article. They nod their head, they like it, and then they keep scrolling. It's like you missed a golden opportunity to be seen. It's not even to talk. It's just like, let Joe know, let Cory know, let Ira know that you appreciate, even if it's just like, hey man, this was really cool, or hope you're having a good day, or Cory, how are things going, man? I haven't had a chance to talk to you on the phone in a month. You know what I mean? This doesn't have to be about the post. So you could talk about the post, you could talk about the person themselves, you could even engage with other people in the comment section of the post that isn't even related to the post itself. Like, for example, earlier today, I was talking to Allison DeFord. She runs a marketing company out here in Los Angeles, and I really like her. I respect her brain. You know, with the algorithms and the feeds, and you don't always see people like on a regular basis, even when you love them. You know what I mean? You like, really respect them. And like Cory, I don't see Cory all the time on social media, but when I do, I make it a point to say, hey, Cory, how you doing? You know what I mean? It's like, that's the way it is. But when people just like, it's an interactive sport. Let me just say it that way. Everything Cory is going to teach you, everything I'm going to teach you about social media, we're going to tell you if you're not, it's top of mind. You got to be seen to be top of mind. So if you're reading posts and not engaging, it's like, look at Kenneth. He's probably made 50 comments on this stream.
Yep.
No matter if people come in and just watch the video for 2 minutes, anywhere in this, they're going to see him because he's been making content, which, I mean, that helps him grow.
Yep.
And then, of course, if you can add some value, which Joe the finance guy does, and I know Cory connects teach people, that's the next part of that. It's not just engagement. Then it's what are you engaging with? You know, that value. The more value you add, the better. 14,000 on your personal and your business page, I think was it like 14 or 1,500. Now you've broken 20,000 on your personal, and your business page is over 2,000. So I mean, that's significant growth. If you just look in the 4 or 5 months, I think it's been 5 months now, because you did it for 3 months, but I think you've been off for 2, right? So it's significant. Look, if everybody watching this could get that kind of a spurt, there's value. It speaks to Cory's, it speaks to the success that Cory has when he's working with his clients. And it also speaks that it's not like a flash in the pan that then rescinds, because you have continued to grow even after the program is over because you've continued to do the things that he taught you to do during the program. So that's my outside observation for whatever it's worth.
The one thing that I'm not going to talk about it because if anybody wants it, they need to call and connect with Cory. But the one thing, set it and forget it. I remember when you and I talked about that, I was going, "Oh my gosh, that's brilliant!" And it was one of the
like a crab pot,
right? And I just loved it because especially I go to bed at the time when some people are still up and they're resting. So
but that's an assumption that a lot of people get wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, I'm going to bed, so everybody else is going to bed. No, I mean it's a global platform, dude.
Right.
So if you can build your platform globally, which everybody, I don't understand. I mean, I do because I remember my thought process before I made that transition in 2018. But once that light clicked on, that aha moment, like, oh, this is a global platform, and I can get people to help me from Australia and from Europe and from Asia and from Africa and from India and all of the places, not just my little neck of the woods at the time. At the time, I was in the San Francisco Bay Area, right? Like once I had that epiphany, I thought of this analogy like a beach ball. Like, right, you could set a post and it's like a beach ball. If nobody hits it, eventually it's going to fall back flat and it's going to stay still. But if you can get people to bump it, especially while you're asleep, you now that's where you get your post to go quote unquote viral, which that means different things to different people. But certainly you can get a lot more mileage out of a post,
right?
Because you got people actively engaging on that post. Engaging, the word, it always comes back down to that.
Yeah,
right?
True. And I'll just Cory, thank you very much for all the help you've done.
And let me just let the cat out of the bag for anybody who hasn't figured this out yet. I'm over 50,000 people on Instagram now because I'm doing it's really the same philosophies enacted on other platforms, right? My YouTube has grown, my Twitter has grown, my Pinterest has grown, Instagram, all of it has grown. Why? Because you engage. It's just this magic thing. Like you can engage with people everywhere, engage with them where they are. Yeah. And it's a successful technique.
Agreed. All right.
I can't get Twitter to notice me.
Well, my Twitter growth is really the least of all of them. Like I think I'm at 3,000 followers. Honestly, though, I don't hang out there. It's not like there are people that are comfortable on Twitter. To me, it's my least favorite place, other than Facebook. Actually, Facebook is my least favorite. I'm just going to be completely transparent. I'm not a fan of Facebook, but I love Instagram, which is owned by Facebook. Go figure.
It's different. I'm not a fan of Twitter either. I'm more comfortable on LinkedIn.
Most of my tweets are LinkedIn posts that it's tweeting for me. Yeah. So, but I have content there, and I do get, I get people that share, retweet is what they call it, and then I'll make their comments, and it's just like anything else. Like Cory would tell you, if you get a comment, then you need to respond, and if you respond, then you start to build that rapport, and that people know you, like, you, trust you. That's what it all comes down to. That's not just social media strategy. That's successful business strategy. You wouldn't have somebody send you an email and ignore it. At least I would think you wouldn't. I mean, if a prospect emails you, you're going to respond. It's the same thing with a comment.
Yep, exactly. So, Cory, what about? I know we're rounding over the halfway mark. What about personally? What's going on with Cory personally?
And things are fantastic. I've this was a big month for me. My girlfriend and myself both had birthdays, and then her eldest daughter graduated, and then she graduated. My girlfriend graduated nursing school, and so it's been like one, and then Mother's Day and all that. So for my birthday, we went and took a little trip down to Galena, Illinois, and then for her birthday, we rented a boat and took it out on the lake for the day. Next weekend we're in.
On Facebook, was it Facebook I saw that on?
Well, that's now. I put the picture of me, captaining the yacht. I put that as my LinkedIn profile picture now too. But yeah, I went live, and
I think there was one that I saw where it's great having my something like with my best friend or my mate being like whatever the term is, Sorry, I don't know it, but whatever the nautical term is,
First mate.
first mate right next to you. And I was like going, oh, wow, that's pretty cool that you were doing that out there. I'm assuming Lake Michigan.
Yep, that was Lake Michigan, and then we'll go and check out the city from a helicopter. It was supposed to be this weekend, but it looks like it'll be next weekend. And so, right within this confine of like, I don't have my vaccine yet. She's a nurse, so she does, but like, we don't want to leave the country quite yet, and so we're kind of just doing as much as we can to like get out from this whole COVID funk and enjoy life a little. And we're trying to set up some things where we can do more philanthropy and all that kind of stuff too. So it's fantastic. I've got a lot of ventures and a lot of irons and different fires, and trying to learn and grow every day. But at the same time, I'm able to start doing more fun things and more things to give back than I've done in many years. So personally, I'm doing as good as could be. Although I can stand to lose just a couple pounds.
I think that's all of us. I'm
Yeah.
sure I could lose a couple more. I mean, hell, the colonoscopy didn't help out that much, but whatever.
Hey, for anybody who's keeping track of Joe and I's late weight loss journey, I am averaging right now 4 miles a day. Every day I'm walking 4 miles a day. So I'm working on it. I'm getting tanner too. Can you tell? There's more contrast because I'm wearing a white shirt today, but here in SoCal, it's been sunny. Not hot though. I think Nick was saying it's not 106 degrees there in Arizona today. It's only 90 here today, so it's not even hot. But I walk in the mornings.
Yeah, I guess I should go over here. I've seen like some of the things. I know we got Kenneth in, Erica, Ira.
Nick,
Ira was in there. Nick was in there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I posted.
Full 90 degrees. Sure.
No, because like really by now it could be 100 degrees easy. We'll have 100 straight days of like 110 plus degree temperature here in SoCal. But we're a little bit, so I grew up in Vegas. For those of you who are not familiar with me, so I'm used to it hot. But in Vegas, the heat starts a little bit sooner and stops a little bit sooner than it does here where I live in SoCal. So you still in May, in early June, it's still not usually 110 yet. But right about now is where the heat switch really starts to flip on, and we'll have 100 plus days of 110 degree weather. It really is intense, but we haven't got there yet.
And
we almost hit 100 today in Chicago.
Did you really?
Yeah, 97 is what my car and the bank told me it was.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, not here. I mean, I'm only like 3 hours away from you, Cory, and I think it's in the 80s. I mean, we were sitting out on the porch before I came down, and it was hot in the sun.
I'm hoping that it doesn't get too hot too fast on the East Coast, because I'm actually getting ready to go out there for 10 days. So I don't know about that humidity you guys got to deal with. We'll find out.
Depends where on the East Coast.
Well, I'm going on an excursion. So we're actually flying into Washington, D.C. Then we're going to drive up to Boston, then down to New York, and then we're going to finish in Baltimore. So it's just sightseeing trip.
I don't think there's that much humidity, but I could be wrong. Maybe there is.
Yeah, we'll find out.
If you're going to Florida, good luck. That's all that's there.
I've been to Florida in June, July, and August. It's not enjoyable, but it's a different type. It is definitely a different type of heat. It's like a stifling heat. It's like you can't breathe. You know what I mean?
Yep. And Erica, Cory Coyne, if I'm right on this, Cory was talking about it in the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
So hashtag Team Replay.
Is Erica your sister, Cory? I get asked that all the time. Are they related? I know you're not, but
so
I would have to imagine that there's a long kind of. Oh, and hi, Rachel. Love her too. Like 20th cousins between Erica and I. But no, she's not on my family tree that I've seen. But she's amazing.
Rachel Beck is another one who everybody should be following. I think everybody would love to be related to her if we could.
Everybody's already following her, but if there's one person out there for some weird reason that isn't, they definitely should follow Rachel Beck.
Yeah, we could all agree on that. And I'm actually planning a trip to Florida just so I could take her out to dinner. I really do want to go see her. She's awesome.
And then
Jordan Mendoza, Atlanta is in the house, everybody, the ATL.
I'm Jordan. Thanks, Rachel. You too.
She is awesome. All right, so here we are. What is new coming up within the week? And we're going to start with you, Cory, because you're the guest.
Well, this week I don't know exactly what's new, other than we're prepping for the first kind of showing of the Cory Connects game to the environment. I'm excited for the crypto, other than Infor that I'm in the most, which is Dogecoin. I think we're going to see some movement towards $1 next week, which would be huge. And just, looking forward to keeping on enjoying the summer and being able to get out of the house and, go to the theme park. And, I went to I was there, I guess, a week or so ago and had the best time. It's just phenomenal getting out of the house, right? And seeing other people you don't know. And I love it. So just enjoying life is what's on my docket.
That'll be awesome. Ira, what about you?
So this weekend I'm going to be putting together a website. It'll be ready to release hopefully Sunday night. My goal is to have it live by Monday morning for a law firm called Hampson and Company. They're in the Cayman Islands, so I'm redoing their site. They've got their current website is like really, really outdated. In fact, they don't even have a theme editor. If you guys remember the old WordPress editor, everything is in that. So we're updating their website. So that's what I got going on this weekend. And then next week is really just about getting ready for my trip. So getting all my client graphics. So Joe, the finance guy stuff is all built, and, getting the posts all ready to go so that my intern, which is my daughter, can make those posts while I'm away, and I can spend more time focusing on my wife as we take that 10-day trip. That's it. The kids are all done with school. I didn't have anybody graduate. Like, we had no high school graduations, no college graduations, no kindergarten graduations this year. Everybody, all 8 of them, they moved up, but they didn't graduate. So we didn't have anybody finishing any of that stuff. So like my youngest is now in 2nd grade, and my oldest is not graduated college yet. But like my my oldest in high school, he went from a junior. He's now going to be a senior. And so there was none of that. So it's really weird. Today was the last day of school. So getting used to it's summertime in the Bowman house. The only one who really has to work is me. So that'll be a little bit of an adjustment, but that's what's new, is just adjusting the summertime in the Bowman house.
Oh, I understand that. Now that the kids are off, they're all like happy and
yeah, they want to be in the bat cave.
Yep. Well, and so I guess then now I could talk about my stuff.
Yes,
which is going to be good.
Super quick. Hi, Michael Ray. Hi, Maddie Moo. We love you guys as well.
Oh,
Sorry,
yeah.
Joe.
No, Ray, I was so excited about that press release. I did 4 press releases last week for Bowman Digital Media. Michael was one of them.
Yep.
That we got to give a shout out to Joe the Finance Guy. Joe the Finance Guy actually sponsored that press release, so that is amazing. But he had over 300. What was it? It was
325,
I think. Yeah,
25.
But that press release for him is huge. And what it was, for those of you who didn't see it, the Smile Project Louisville project, it's going national. So obviously it started there in Louisville, and he was out in California. He was down in Florida. He's been coast to coast now. And we were basically letting the world know, like, hey, if you want to get on board, what he does typically is he gets on camera and he gives somebody a gift card of like $100. Well, imagine you're a company out there that wants to have your name in every one of those videos. He could give away your gift card. That's just one idea, but you know what I mean? You could get involved that way. And so that was what the press release was about. I was really excited for him, and we got him backlinks. That's always that's the backside of why we do press releases, is we're helping website backlink juice. So anyways, that was cool. That was cool of you to do that for him, Joe.
Michael Ray is he's just I met so many from the teachings of Cory. I've met just so many great people, and Michael Ray, after learning about his story, which we'll find out next week because he's actually going to be my co-host because somebody's going to be driving somewhere.
I'm gonna be on a plane on the 10th.
You're going to be on the plane or whatever.
Yeah, we're flying into Washington D.C. and then I don't know what day of the week that is, but we're scheduled to be in D.C. for a couple of days, and then we're going to drive to Boston, which I understand is like 8-hour drive. So that's
Michael Ray will be here co-hosting with me, so that'll be awesome, and I get to hear about his story and again and let everybody know. But everybody knows his story. Maddie Moo is just great, and I'll tell you the chance I got to meet with them was just awesome. So it was a pleasure doing that press release. I thought it was awesome, and I know you did another one for me, the RTB shopper one, which was great as well.
Yeah, that one was picked up. That actually was picked up by more than any of the others. That was 350. I think it was like 348 technically, but anyways, that was great. That was a lot of fun. It was a little bit hard for me to write that one because it was so similar to yours because he's one of your clients, right? So a lot of similarities there. I wasn't just trying to like re-say the same thing, but there was actually some interesting things that I learned about that service. For example, when we talked about this before, it's buy online, pick up in person. So there's this acronym that we were able to put in there, and I think we got carried by some of the financial markets because of that acronym, because we defined what it is.
Right.
And then also they have an interesting partnership with Best Buy. So, they use your payment service,
Correct,
the finance guy, to help their clients pay, but then they partnered with Best Buy, so they have all access to all their products.
right.
And then you can pick it up wherever you are. So if you're in LA, if you're in Chicago, like Cory, if you're in Indianapolis, like Joe, the finance guy is, it doesn't matter where you are. There's a Best Buy. As long as there's a Best Buy around you,
you could just go and pick it up, and that's it.
Yeah. So that's really neat. So there was some components that I was able to like use, and I think that got the attention of some more of the news outlets like that. And then with your latest story, I was trying to get you to get an interview. I haven't had anybody reach out to me yet about that, but the goal is, if you're a reporter watching, there was a lot of stories that made national headlines about buy now, pay later, but they didn't talk about how it was helping increase the sales for the retail industry. And that's like the same component is like increased sales is a huge benefit. So, and that one was we were specifically talking about lawn furniture, right? So, barbecues and patio furniture and stuff like that. But they missed that part of the story. So I was thinking that maybe CNN or somebody like that would want to reach out to Joe.
Well, the finance guy is always there to help add a little bit of value to your business. So
yeah,
feel free to call. But anyways, all right. So breaking news for me this week. Last week, we already know what happened. I got into an accident. I think, did I talk about that on the show last week where the Batmobile popped the wheel or whatever?
Yeah. The Joker got away.
The Batmobile did. It got fixed.
Sweet.
It got fixed. It was just a roller coaster of things. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to go forward this time because I want to end on the positive note. But Rachel put here, congratulations, Stepke family. My second daughter graduated high school. And my wife and I only have 2 more to go. Yay. But she graduated Noblesville High School, and it was the drive-through type parade and she's sitting in the back of the Buick Enclave, and she's doing the princess wave to everyone.
Yeah, if you guys haven't seen that post, check it out. Joe made that post days ago.
She it's just so great, and I'm so proud of her. Tori is just amazing, and she's just such a worker and everything else. But she made up her first LinkedIn profile yesterday.
We all need to go connect with her.
Yeah, so please connect with my daughter.
Is she the one who refuses to bring you water during our show?
No. She's usually working at Starbucks during this time.
Right.
So she's working right now, but she it was funny because I go, did anybody connect with you? She goes, yeah, a bunch of people tried to connect with me. I don't know them. I go, this is not like Facebook, kid. So I had to try to explain to her, but Dad, you told me not to connect with anybody on Facebook I don't know. Okay, scratch what I said about that part. Now let's talk about you being an adult and networking. So,
Yeah.
Cory, we might have to do a Zoom one time with her in there and just go, just do it.
I'm in. And if she ever wants, you can show her the 90-minute video that I always start everybody with.
You're right. I do. I need to do that with her. But she graduated, so that was great. The Batmobile, as I was saying, it got fixed. It was funny. The light was on, so I went to pick it up this morning. This is how everything is going. It's going to be like $1,000. Or when I went there, the one mechanic said, "Yeah, we think your frame is broken. You're going to have to take it to a frame person or whatever." I was like, "You're kidding me. Why did I pay all this to get this thing fixed or whatever? Like the rack and pinion, if this was wrong." Well, come to find out, it was the light that wouldn't come off. Everything was aligned. They just couldn't get this light to turn off. And I'm telling you, 2 miracles that happened this week. But I started driving it because it was okay. And I went on the highway just to test it out. Everything was fine. I shut it off when I went to the dry cleaner to pick up my stuff. I get back in the car. The light didn't come on anymore.
Yeah.
The light went off. Everything course corrected. It's a miracle.
Sensor flip. Yeah, that's good.
I'm not taking it to the Chrysler dealership. The Batmobile rides again. So, which is great. And then one of the other things that happened, the sink, I want to say, it got clogged. That Drano, nothing would work. Nowhere in the house it was wrong. It was just the kitchen sink. We're having family over, obviously, because of the whole graduation and everything. My wife is upset. Well, the guy comes there a couple days ago. I think it was Tuesday. They get there. Well, their machine isn't working. So they couldn't snake it or whatever. He goes, "Yeah, we're going to have to come back." So then the next day the guy comes back and I'm here. They came in the morning. So I'm here before I left for work. And the guy's talking about going, "Yeah, there's probably like a grease trap or something like that. You see this in here? We're going to have to get a high pressure snake to go in there to blow it out. But that's going to be $450 an hour." So I'm thinking, well, okay, $450 an hour. So what? It'd take only an hour? Well, no, it could be several hours because the thing, whatever it was. And then he said, or we might have to just find out where the clog is and we'll take out different sections of your wall to find it so we could take. I go, hold on a minute. I go, they wanted to go in the back cave because the pipes all run down here. And they're going to be tearing out pieces. I went, no. There has to be a better way. And so my wife, she's already calling another plumber. Well, I got these guys downstairs because I'm showing them there's different sections of pipe that are visible. You're not cutting into the drywall. And plus, can you tell me where the clog is? Like if you're using that snake, how many feet was it going in? Can you tell me exactly? And then let's rough estimate, not let's start here and go there. He goes, "Yeah, well, maybe we could do that." So, but they couldn't get through. So I said, "Yeah, I'll try it. We'll tape it off." My wife comes downstairs while we're talking and she goes, "Listen, I called another plumber. He's going to be here between 3 or 5 because, obviously to look at him." The guy goes upstairs and goes, "Well, let me check on this first." They run the snake through and we're listening. And it was about maybe a half hour since he did the one part. And now remind you, the guys heard my wife saying somebody else is coming. The guy goes like this, starts running that snake through and it's, turning or whatever. He goes, "Oh, guess what?" And we go, "What?" It's actually getting through. So my wife in her New York accent, "Oh my gosh, I won't swear on TV. It's an effing miracle. I can't believe it." And we didn't have to do anything else. The thing went through and that they snaked it all the way to the main pipe because we were listening to it. But that's some good stuff. So what turned out to be bad ended up being good. Sorry.
The miracle there is there was competition coming.
Yeah. Yeah, that was funny. And my wife said it to me afterwards, and she's talking to the kids going, and your father was just listening to all of them going, yes, yes. What was I going to do? I mean, I told her, I can't tell the guy, you know what, you're a liar. And I wasn't going to do that. I wanted to listen to what they had to say because, then I could tell the other guy if there was one. I wasn't going to let him cut into the Batmobile or the Batcave. Hell no. So, but that's it. That's the good stuff that happened to me. And coming up this week, I got a bunch of e-commerce.
Hey, you were able to stay awake the whole time. Your pipe was getting snaked, and there was not a problem.
That's funny. That's real funny. All right. Yeah. I did. Yeah, I stayed awake during the whole time, and no bodily injury at all.
No voice boxes were
needed. You know what I'm talking about with the colonoscopy and me waking up halfway through. And I'm never going to live that down, but everybody knows about it. That's good. So the crap we go through. So,
literally.
Yeah, that is it. But that's all that I got. So, which is awesome. Any parting words, Cory? I know we kept you on a little bit longer than an hour, but
just my parting words are thanks for having me. Thanks to everybody for tuning in. And lately I'm kind of a broken record when I sign off on podcasts or interviews or things like that. And typically people ask this, and I just say the same thing. And I think it's applicable. It's biblical, and just love more. I think we can all love more. Love strangers, love enemies, love yourself, love your family. Love your community on whatever platform. But loving more is never the wrong way to go.
100% agree.
Yep.
That's a mic drop. That's definitely a mic drop.
Absolutely. All right. So because I'm new, Ira, videos first, then the song.
Yeah.
And we're out.
And you don't have to worry about muting, by the way, because when you go to the videos, it mutes them automatically. So.
All right. I just want to make sure.
Yep.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Thanks so much, and see you next week.
Look forward to having Michael Ray on next week, guys. I may or may not be here, but I'll be here in spirit either way. If I'm not on the show, I might be in the comments anyways. But I'll be traveling either way. To make sure to tune in, we're come on every Friday. It's 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. Time adjust, of course, wherever you are. We love you. We appreciate you. Thank you, Cory Warfield, for joining us today. It was a lot of fun. Joe?
Ira?
I want you to hit 50 this week, brother. Wait, month.
Oh, my gosh. Here we go.
I know it's slack off, brother. I haven't busted your balls on that in a while, so.
50 it is. All right. Especially with the new stuff that I'm able to do, might be possible. So, good stuff.
I'm surprised people aren't beating down your door.
Their
cost of goods sold. It doesn't.
It's a little bit different because some of the ones that I'm getting now are outside of my area, and they only want to deal with me.
I know.
So it's a little bit hard that, hey, I only get paid on this much, but I'll help you get set up. So
it's really got to be, for me, one of the things that I love most about being a business owner now, as opposed to a sales rep. I dealt with the sales territory for 20 plus years. You know that. So I can empathize and I can relate, but it is one of those things as a business owner now. It's like, I don't care. I have customers in San Jose, Costa Rica. I have customers in the Cayman Islands. I have customers in India. I have customers in the UK, and of course, customers all over the United States. And it's wonderful. I have no territory. So,
and I think that's important when you don't have a territory. It just, I get it, and I'm a company guy, and it's nice that you have a loyal following that people just want to deal with you, what you've done, and I've been so transparent with everybody, all the retailers that I've ever done business with, so which is great, and I do appreciate all of them. They are all great people, and
I know they appreciate you. You get much more than just the service that you offer when you sign up as a Joe the Finance Guy client. You get
absolutely
access to Joe's brain, and he's like me. He's going to try to figure out ways to help you win, whether it benefits him directly or not.
Right. Exactly. So that's just what I do. But anyways, all right. I'm out of here. We're out of here. safe travels next week.
Thanks, brother. Remember, it's 2 weeks in a row I'll be on the road.
I know.
But I will check in with you because I just got to figure out where I am at the time and what my internet situation is. Because if I can be on, I'll have my laptop with me, so I'll have webcam. Although Cory was great from the phone.
Yep.
So maybe I could even do it from the phone. I've never actually done the show from the phone before, but
well, don't worry. Michael Ray next week, and then Tim Son, who co-hosts the Shout Out Saturday with Brian.
Yeah, with Brian and Nancy. Yeah,
is the following week, so that'll be.
Is he coming on by himself, or is Brian?
Yeah, right now he's coming on by himself, but you never know. The other two might go. We're coming on too. So.
Hey, they said they would come back anytime.
I know, and I'm good with that. So
I have too. I think they're amazing. The only thing I know now is when they come on, we need to go to the bathroom before.
It's going to be a 2 to 3 hour show.
Right.
I'm good with that. So
I actually watched their show this last week. I was a little bit late for the start, but I think I jumped on at like 8:30 or 8:45. Yeah.
You saw when I was on, right?
Yeah, I was on before you, but then, but yeah, I stayed the whole time.
I came on late. That's what.
Yeah, you came on after me.
Yep.
I was teasing you in the comments, and you said appreciate that.
Yes, now I remember. I'm trying to go in and do it, and then hurry up, get out because I had family being here. So, but
that was the first time that I watched the whole show. Well, almost the whole show, because, like I said, I had never been on their show before because we were Saturday Cup of Joe.
Right.
So now that it's Friday,
isn't it? It's a great show.
It's an awesome show. I love it. I love everything about it. I love what they're doing. They brought a bunch of interesting guests on, and I got to meet some people that I had never, met before. And so, yeah, I love it. And how can you not like Brian and Nancy and Tim? They're awesome people.
They're awesome people. I know. Yeah. And I'm sure you saw Radiating Real Tim's post when he woke up.
Oh, yeah. And, for that, I want to give a special shout out for the Radiating Real to Lynn Hallbrooks. She did it. So Lynn saw our show, and then she did it. But it was like, it probably, because I'm just going to assume for most women, it's harder to do that than for men because of the makeup and stuff. But she was kind of like you with the sleep apnea thing. So she's got the whole thing there, and, she did it. Yeah, she did it. So congratulations to her on having the courage to do it. And thank you for doing it. And if you guys don't know what Radiating Real is, just search the hashtag real quick.
Hashtag Radiating Real.
And then I encourage you, and Joe would echo this, do it. Support those, get involved. It's one of those things I think that hashtag will trend anyways. So the earlier you do it, then you can be a pioneer for it. But it's awesome. That's Nancy Burrows. Check her out. Follow her. I actually did follow you Friday today, and she was the one that I highlighted in the post because I think she's amazing.
She is too. We know so many amazing people, so it's great.
I know.
You're right. We're out of here. We're going. I will talk to you later. Thank you.
See you. BowmanDigitalMedia.com.
JoeTheFinanceGuy.com.